Hey y'all, peace. It's September 19th. Yes, the 19th, and we're back out in the garage. You're coming from directly above the steering wheel, a braze cart, where there's a GoPro mount. Put you in the case. Don't want to damage any more cameras, right? So I got a bunch of things done around the house, and figured, you know what, it's time. I need to get out here, and although I've still got things on the list to do, figured I'd take a day for myself and start working on mounting up our radiator. And this is what we came up with. Let me get you off of here. We're going to use a chassis mount, right? They use those for pipe cradles. There's billet tubes for putting seat struts in. All kinds of different stuff. You can put a little U-shaped billet piece on and mount your water pump to it. All kinds of stuff. They clamp on real good, and they're good and stout. So had to rework this one a little bit. This was a 28. This is 30 millimeter tube. All the ones that I've bought are all 32s. Right, here's some new 32s that have the seat strut tube on them. There's a bolt down there that holds the whatever type of apparatus you want. If you wanted seat struts, you'd obviously use that one. I got a bag here. Bought some used ones a long time ago off of the marketplace on Facebook. That's another 32. But you can see there's the piece for either a water pump or some other kind of bracket or whatever. They're really super handy, these things, because they're really low profile, right? I mean, you really got next to nothing hanging down below the chassis to drag on the ground. So they're really nice for that. We used them a bunch of 28s. We opened up the 30 millimeter on to hold the seat back on the Yamadog that's in the trailer. So you and me thinking a lot. I was thinking, man, I'll just go steal them off there, but this one was a 28. We were able to open it up pretty quick. We used a barrel sander in the drill, right in the vise here. Piece of cake. Bing, bang, boom. Same way we reworked the motor mount for the engine, right? The butterflies and all that. Same way. We just moving things around just a little bit. So we made took a piece of 3/4 by 3/4 aluminum, and we got all kinds of stuff here for mocking up. It's really nice. And we took a piece of this 6061 aluminum and cut off about 8 inches of it, fancied it up real nice, countersink a bolt and bolt it down. And what we're going to do is we're going to mount our radiator off of this here. We had some hex stock that we drilled and tapped to mount in between, so we can mount either spacers, some kind of little stubs spacers, because what we can do is these are solid aluminum. Got one there, got one on the bottom. They're solid, so we can drill and tap with a much smaller bolt, right? A little is it a little 6 millimeter or whatever that is, right? So what we'll do is I was thinking we could just drop this bad boy with no spacers at all right on the top, right, and get us some through holes in the 3/4 by 3/4, and then go ahead and transfer them into the hex stock once we get the angle. You know, we kind of get the angle we want. Doesn't matter, we can always loosen up the bolts on the end here and rotate it once it's bolted together. And so we'll start with the front, and then we'll work on the back one once we get an idea of where we want it. We can also go on the back side of this and drop the radiator down a little bit. It still leaves us room to clear that nipple there, and to clear the chassis, to be able to get a hose on it. So we could put it here. That'll be really easy. It's up a little higher than we'd like it, but if we can go down here, we're really only lowering it, you know, 3/4 of an inch. We're not really lowering it all that much. So we'll have to take a look at that and see exactly what we want to do. But it was nice to come out, get my hands dirty, run some of the machines here, throw some sparks and some aluminum, and drill and tap and get some tap magic and get us stinky, you know, just playing around out here. We get a radiator mounted and on. Then we can go ahead and start putting a bunch of the fancy stuff that we bought for the cart. We got some cool orange preformed hoses. Let me turn the lights on for you. We got some orange preformed hoses. We bought a bunch of stuff. We bought some conical washers, gold and blue anodized conical washers. We bought a new steering shaft bushing because ours is a little beat up. But we got a whole bunch of stuff in here. These are the cool hose holders, right? You drill through the seat, and then they got a little, that's right, and they clip on, they hold these off the back of your seat. Yeah, man, come on. It's RPM, baby. Of course we're going to get all fancy. Well, you could have just zip-tied that, yeah, like any other redneck. We're not racing dirt, man. We're road racers. We're supposed to make them pretty. Frank Dolly wouldn't put zip ties on the back of his. Would you, Frank? So, yeah, I think these things were like, they were less than $3, man. It was like $1.90 or €1.95 or something. So we bought a new throttle pedal too. Or is it the brake pedal? It's a brake pedal. No, it's a throttle pedal. But it's not exactly the same as that one there. You know, we thought from the picture it looked like, but it looks a lot better than that one. I don't know if we're going to be able to use it or not, but we got one. So we got it, right? We got all kinds of parts and pieces to get put on here once we get this radiator on. We have our electric water pump here. Right, just like we got on the laydown cart, on a laydown shifter. So we're going to run electric pump. We have battery packs for the laydown. You know, we're going to use them. We'll just use the same plug connector, and that way they'll work on everything we have. Yeah, so once we get, you know, radiator on and hoses run and all that happy stuff, get our temp probe put in line and all that stuff. We had Kenny, brother Kenny, appreciate it, run all the way down to his side of town to the nut and bolt store called Metrics Unlimited, and they don't just have nuts and bolts. I mean, they got us a bunch of E-clips and all kinds of stuff for the end of the stub axle, for the top of the kingpin, for the end of the steering shaft. I got enough of those to last me the rest of my life and probably Bray's life too. But it's always nice to have them. You know, somebody loses one at the track and they need one, and you got one, you can help them out. They're not going to go to waste, that's for sure. So that's it for the 19th, man. We're BTO. We got the BTO going out in RPM, out in China, in the China shop. We got her going, boys. We got her going. We're getting her going. We're going to try to get her ready for the 26th. Super excited about getting to the end of the year and getting this thing on a track finally, and getting a ride, getting everything shook down, brakes bed in, all that happy stuff. So hang in there. Hang in there. It'll get better. Jesus is coming. Pray for me. I'm praying for y'all. Hang in there, man. Yeah, buddy. We're working on the project.